On the 11 months of this APC government, they put us in this nightmare. It's a shame. The worst of us ruling the best of us. Truly, there was a country. Thank you very much for your contributions this morning. Keep them coming. Send them an SMS or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537, or you can do well to call us via the phone line 07000 917 917, and we'll be glad to pick up your call this morning. Of course, our first story we got to analyze from the Punch newspaper: alleged 80.2 billion naira fraud, EFCC to arraign Yahaya Bello, today being Thursday. And we've got with us our newspaper analyst, Adeyemi Adeodu. I am Miracle Philip, and this is Women Radio 91.7, just in case you've just tuned in. Now, Adeyemi, we'd like to take a look at another story this morning, and this time we'll turn our sights to what is happening in Abia State. Now, the Abia State Council of the Nigerian Labour Congress has pleaded with the governor of Abia State, Alex Oti, to pay Abia workers the minimum wage as well as the wage award due to them. The state chairman of the NLC, Comrade Ogbonnaya Okoro, handed down the appeal yesterday during a special Thanksgiving ceremony of the current leadership of the National Union of Teachers, Abia State Chapter. Congratulating the state leadership of the NUT, Okoro said, "We are grateful for what Oti does, but like Oliver Twist, we want more. Pay us our minimum wage and wage award. Other states have paid their workers. Out of the 5 southeastern states, only Abia has not paid. Maybe this May Day you will say something." Meanwhile, the national vice chairman of the NUT, Kizito Kalu, also said being at the national headquarters is a good thing for Abia teachers, urging other unions to emulate the Abia NUT for good things to come for them. Meanwhile, the State Commissioner for Education, Professor Uche, represented by her head of department scholarship, Angela Nkoro, said Oti was a lover of education who wants to take education to a higher height in the state, and advised the teachers to keep the flag flying. Now, Adeyemi, we get to look at exactly what has happened at Abia State, the change of the government, which actually did bring a bit of smiles. I wouldn't say a bit, but brought smiles to the Abia State people. And now also them coming up with the fact that there is need for the government to ensure the implementation of the minimum wage, the award for also the Abia workers in the state. Do you see this as something that may not be implemented by the governor, owing to the fact that he's got a bit of track record since he assumed office? Mm, 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 mm. Mm,
No, you are asking for your right. It is your right. So you deserve to have it.
mm,
So these are the problems. By the time you are making them to feel so much important that their decision is very no, 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 no. They are not God.
mm,
They are there constitutionally, and there are those terms that have been stated regarding their office as a duty and responsibility that they must do. So we should stop making them gods until we do that. If you see, the problem we have today, we are the ones that are causing it with the people of this great state, this great nation. because the way we put our politicians, the way we make them to feel, we'll be dancing around them, calling before them. No, no. How do you see what happens in the United States? Do you see the people of the United States? No, because they know they are right. And we have been saying it. I think it is time because I know that most of us, even the civil servants, most of them don't know what's in the constitution, even the one that governs duty, they don't have a clear understanding. Nigeria as a country, we must teach our children the parents of our constitution. Let us start from the primary school so that everybody will know their rights. With that, you will understand that you will not see the governor as anybody special. You too can be there if you decided to be there and leave the people will vote you. You can be there. And when you are there, do the right thing and people will celebrate you. No, when nothing has been done, they are celebrating. That's the problem. You saw how I have to go back to Yaya Bello. You saw the way Yaya Bello was living like God in Kogi State, paper 10. You saw it. These are the problem. When you continue to make them to feel like gods, they will behave like gods. That's the nature of God. And they will be trampled upon you.
Well, thank you very much, Adeyemi. You actually made that point very, very salient this morning. The fact that, I remember when some governors get to do certain things in, their states, and people come out clamoring and shouting and saying, this governor is this governor has done the best, this governor has come as a messiah. Of course, it is imperative to get to celebrate them. But at the end of the day, you realize that people are actually celebrating because the past administration refused to do their job. So if every administration is doing their job by meeting the needs of the people, providing the basic amenities, there wouldn't be that much clamor. There would be rather every governor coming into office knowing that they have to beat whatever standard had been set by the previous administration. You get to see villages where the roads are supposed to be tarred, and then all of a sudden a governor does that and they are rejoicing and praising the governor that the governor came to save. That was just like you said, it is the governor's responsibility to meet that need, to provide that amenity. It helps with the economic status of the state at its best. And I thank you so much for really just highlighting that this morning for us on the newspaper review. Well, if you've just tuned in, this is Women Radio 91.7. And we are taking a look at some stories from the various national dailies this morning. And you can get to be a part of the conversation. The phone line is 07000 917 917. You can equally send a message or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. We have a couple of messages right here. This one is coming from Destiny from Ikorodu. Says, good morning, WFM family, Miraculous Miracle, and our able analyst, Adeyemi Adeolu. I listened to Ojojo defending his boss, saying Kogi's funds are not missing, and I laugh. And to come to the conclusion that Nigerian politicians will never learn from history. Same happened in Delta State. Absolutely. Years back about against Ibori and the governor then, who was defending him, saying state funds were not missing. But when he pleaded guilty in UK and funds recovered from him and his mistress, the same governor started laying claims on the said funds. And the governor of Kogi whisking his boss away from agency of the government is a pure obstruction of justice. And if it is where if it is where the institutions are respected above anyone, by now Ododo would be facing the law as well. God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much, Destiny from Ikorodu. And yes, you did highlight the case of the former governor of Delta State. We're talking about James Ibori, who had been sentenced to 13 years imprisonment as of yesterday, way back in 2012, after admitting to 10 counts of conspiracy to defraud and money laundering. He was equally accused of appropriating 250 million of public funds. And this was within the period of his 8 years in office in the Niger Delta region between 1999 to 2007. All right, we have another message here. This one says, "Good morning, Miracle. Like they used to say, loyalty to this government now cash and carry. Objection na mortuary. Everybody gets agenda with their mercenary enterprises. As for the Lagos Calabar Road, let them give the work to an Arab contractor. They will handle the work better and they won't charge this bogus amount." Case study: Ogba Road of Yaya Abaton Road did by Fashola is still quality. High tech is owned by Tinubu. We cannot do this. Paddy Paddy RNG contract padding. Where are other contractors bidding for the work? We shouldn't allow high tech to handle this project, or let's cancel this project. They want to siphon our money to prepare for 2027. It's a shame the worst of us is ruling the best of us. Truly, there was a country. Keep the comments coming in. 07031756537. Equally do well to call in 07000 917. If you've just tuned in, this is a newspaper review on Women Radio 91.7. I am Miracle Philip, and we've got our analyst with us this morning, Adeyemi Adeolu. Now, we shift our sights now to the Vanguard newspaper, from which we'll be taking a look at this particular story. The fact that the army have rescued another Chibok girl, Lydia Simon, in Boronu. Now, she was rescued with her 3 children by the troops of the 82 Division Task Force Battalion in Ngoza local government area of Borno State as at yesterday. And this comes days after the commemoration of the 10-year anniversary of the Chibok girls abduction. Now, sources actually had it that, she was serial number 68 among the abducted missing girls, and she escaped from the camp of Ali Ngude in Mandara Mountain, where she was held in captivity for several years. She surrendered to troops of the 82 Division Task Force Battalion at Ngoshe in Gwaza local government area. The rescued Chibok girl was 5 months pregnant and claimed she was from Pemi town in Chibok. Well, Ajay, we would actually see this is good news. I mean, while as at the time of commemorating the 10 years anniversary of the abducted Chibok girls, we got to ask questions about how many of these girls had been missing, how many are still alive, how many have been rescued so far. And it actually tells or is shining a good light on the fact that some progress is being made.
In as much that we could say progress has been made, it is disheartening that the dreams and aspirations of these girls are not being disrupted
Mm.
by these people. Don't forget that these girls we're talking about, they were secondary school students
Yes.
as well. And you know that most of them have hopes and ambition of what they want to become in life, particularly through education. Most of you have those who want to be doctors, lawyers, engineers, and those who want to be politicians as well, and all other walks of life. But now, a girl coming out now with 3 kids and yet pregnant, you can imagine what kind of responsibility that this girl has been carried with. And you can imagine what she must have gone through in the course of being in the den of this. I don't know. It's disheartening. Honestly, it is disheartening. This is an evidence that Nigeria is a failed state. That's it. And when we do that, we are fighting for the destiny of and the future of this nation. That's exactly what we are doing. We cannot continue and say, oh, thank God she has been rescued. What means that been rescued? Is that, is that what she wants to do? Did you rescue her?
Mm. Mm.
Gone through a lot of trauma, a lot of troubles after she has been made a mother against her will? Please. And let me be honest with you, that's not rescue.
Mm.
And that means the person who she was dealing with in that place maybe got tired of her. That's the truth. Because I don't see how possible it's going to be for her to have
Mm.
that must have been said by these people that she will get out with 3 kids and nothing will happen. The person who she was dealing with must have maybe the person got tired. Maybe they want to take other women, they want to take new wives. So please, Nigeria and the state should stand up. We can't continue this way. After 10 years, they are not saying you have rescued. What have you rescued? It's a shame on us.
Mm.
What have you rescued? After the girl has been put in the modern way, against her will, truncating her educational vision. What are we talking about? Her dreams to become who she wants to be has been truncated. Do you know who the responsibility that this girl has now been saddled with? Even when she wants to do anything at all, before she can integrate back into the society and be able to even think of anything, it's going to take her another time.
Mm.
And even if at all at the end of the day she's able to achieve. But don't forget that those years, that 10 years she has spent, and the one that she's going to spend to be able to, reconcile herself back to the society are going to be part of those 10 years in the life of this girl. What are we now talking about? And you say you're a state. What kind of a state is this? The jungle. That's what it is. A jungle. Because the jungle is where people do anything the way they want. That's what Thomas Hobbes said. This is
Mm. Mm.
when we should be crying and cover our faces that we have missed it. And you do, they will say the troop of so what rubbish. What rubbish. If they were to be their children, would they be able to say this?
Mm. Mm.
Showing off that this is what they want to achieve and they have been able to achieve it. Now, whatever you want to do it. That's what they are saying to us. The Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Air Force, and the Nigerian Navy, even the police and whatever, it is not for them to rise up. Please, let us flush every one of them of our forests, on our land. Let them neutralize to what they can neutralize. And anyone that they can apprehend, let them apprehend and prosecute them. Enough of this nonsense. And those people behind them, they are sponsors, no matter whoever you are. Please, enough of this nonsense. What are you celebrating?
Mm.
You are celebrating failure.
Mm. Mm. Thank you very much, Adeyemi. It's really, really sad. I remember I said yesterday or day before yesterday, I was reading a news story about, some of the rescued Chibok girls and how they had talked about the fact that, there were lots of things they pointed out, and which was why we at Women Radio 91.7, we had to go all out to do a documentary. So if you've not watched that documentary, you can actually find that on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel at WFM 91.7. We made mention of there were a lot of people that we got to interview, from the parents to family members to, the girls themselves, and the experiences that they got to share, and the fact that they still are calling on government to stand on the promises that the government made when they were rescued, funding educationally and all round. And also the story about the fact that you made mention of something that, which was what I actually got to read, in the course of the week, how it is hard. And I think that that is the part that is the hardest for these girls, integrating back into their society, because this time around they are coming back to their societies. And as much as we might clamor right here on radio about the fact that these girls needed to be saved and rescued, and also to become part of the society again, they're living with other people who look at them as Boko Haram wives, as women who are helping the expansion of the Boko Haram agenda, as women whose children are Boko Haram members automatically, just because they are fathered by the Boko Haram members who married them, who must have raped them, and resulting in that that delivery of the children. And some of them also saying that they're seeking for love, that they want to get married to. So it's a whole lot for these women to get to deal with. And just as you said, it's not just about the rescue this time around. She's coming back into the society. What aid would be made available to her with her three children? I mean, even in for any parent raising a child, even one child, it's a whole lot in our current economic status in the country. And so it tells a lot. Where is she running to? How sure are we that her parents are still alive? What are the living conditions she's going to have to deal with her three children? Well, that is why we at Women Radio 91.7 FM will continue to drum it and say it and speak that these girls should be rescued. Not only rescued, but also the government should take responsibility for them. It's 10 years and counting, 10 years and 3 days. And we can only hope for the best. Well, we have your comments still coming in this morning. This one is coming from Rusinjo Olawale from Alakmere. Says, good morning, dear presenter. It's unfortunate that the youngest governor, who claims to be a youth in the last dispensation, is running for questioning by the EFCC, and a court of law is backing such irresponsibility. He should account for his doings while in office and stop running around. Such persons will run for the Senate and Nigerians will still vote them and cry that we are having a bad leadership. It's not rocket science, please. Bad followers will never produce good leaders. Nigeria will survive. Allah bless Nigeria. Thank you very much, Mr. J. This one here is coming from L. Kennedy. Victor says, hello, WFM. I'm still listening, but that just that I'm not chance to type. Okay, what is rescue, please? They should stop this rat race and learn the use of English. Thank you very much, L. Kennedy. Coming from Val Okachi says, let's say it exactly as it is. This Chibok girl was not rescued by any security agency. She simply escaped from the captivity of the terrorists. And there are still those in captivity as well. So the leaders, our leaders, have failed them, and it is so sad. Thank you very much. This here from Evangelist Shagun Oyedeji says, Miracle Adeyemi, the elites in the north should be ashamed of themselves for being inhuman and for all the savagery abnormalities that are prevalent in the north. Imagine the Chibok girl just found reached, abused, dehumanized, animalized with children. What a shame to our rulers. Thank you very much for your messages that have come in this morning. And also, of course, this is where we get to wrap it up on the newspaper review. I want to say special thanks to our newspaper analyst, Adeyemi Adeolu. Thank you so much for joining in this morning. Mm, mm. Your daughter, I mean. Mm, mm. Mm, mm. Thank you very much, Adeyemi. Thank you so much for joining in this morning. We also have further messages coming in. This one's coming from Damian. It says, all agitations, whether that of the Yoruba nation or what have you, all just down to dissatisfaction and bad governance. All right. Thank you very much for your message. Here it's coming from Anderson from Itoki. Says, good morning, Miracle. You see, Miracle, the increase in corrupt cases in our country is about the constitution. Until the immunities given to the president or the governors is willed or abolished before we will get it right. And also tougher or rigid and rather rigid punishment shows more like life imprisonment should be instituted. Well, that's why we have conversations like this on our radio, and we hope to see something better in our country. Nigeria can only get better. That is our major hope. Thank you once again, Ademi Adeolu, for joining us this morning. All right. And thank you so much to all our newspaper review families, those listening, and those who got to contribute on the program this morning. Tomorrow we will return. Of course, it will be Friday, and there'll be lots more stories for us to put our heads together and discuss on the state of the nation. Continue listening to Women Radio 91.7. I am Miracle Phillip. Stay tuned.
Being a victim of corruption? Do you want to report how corruption affects you and your community? Send an SMS or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. Hey children, we have something special for you. So Children's Day is coming soon in May, and guess what? Women Radio is throwing an amazing party for you with lots of games, music,